A very bright good afternoon to everyone. I am Anushka Pachori from B Farm, and on behalf of IMT College of Pharmacy, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you in today's IIC session on innovation prototype validation, converting prototype into startup. It gives me immense pleasure to be able to introduce today's guest speaker, Mr. Rishabh Ilwadi. Mr. Ilwadi is co-founder and CEO of an elevation platform where you elevate. He is also a founding member of the Eternity Foundation and is responsible for overall expansion of the organization. He is a startup enthusiast, keynote speaker, technology professional, and entrepreneur. He took care of technology excellence in Cloud Dive Labs, which was later acquired by Standard Tech Softwares. I would like to request our Dean, Dr. Pushpendra Jain sir, to please welcome him.
Thank you, Anushka. First of all, good afternoon to today's guest, Mr. Rishabh,
Afternoon, sir.
IC team, and Director Sir. On behalf of IMT College of Pharmacy, I, Dr. Pushpendra, extremely overwhelmed to get this opportunity to address our today's guest of IIC session. Sir, kindly
Thank you.
accept our warm welcome. The theme of the session is very fruitful to our young student, young professional, like innovation and prototype.
Yes.
If anything will be doing, then expecting some outcome, and that outcome comes from innovation and prototype that ultimately convert into startup. Definitely, sir. All the participants presented over here benefited from this session. So again, I would like to welcome you for this session, sir. Thanking you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over to
Thank
Anushka,
you,
ma'am.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Now I would like to request Rishabh sir to please take the floor and share your knowledge with us.
All right. Thank you, Anushka, Ankita, Pushpin, sir, and IMT College for inviting me and for giving me this opportunity to speak once again with you. I had a session 2 months ago with you guys, and thank you for inviting me again. So I'll start by briefly introducing myself. My name is Rishabh Ilwadi. I'm an entrepreneur from last 5 years. This is my third startup which I'm building. Prior to this, I worked uh, in a cloud consulting startup called Cloud Dive Labs, which was later acquired by Standard Tech Solutions. Where there I worked for in technology excellence domain, where I delivered a lot of projects, a lot of cloud native applications for my customers. And in 3 years, I learned a lot over there. I grew that company to a valuation of more than $1.2 million, successfully exited from it last year and started Very Elevate, which is my passion. I'll tell more about my startup in upcoming session and what work we are doing and about the topic. I'll start with how I started my entrepreneurship journey as part of my introduction. It, in my college days, being graduated from a tier 3 college, tier 2 college, a lot of students lack confidence over there. A lot of students lack the kind of environment which is required, the kind of uh, education or resources which are required for you to become innovative, for you to start innovating or start building your product, start looking for innovative jobs, which the country needs right now, which the world needs, and the way the world is heading to. So being from a tier 2, tier 3 college, graduated during engineering, it was one shift, one spark which I needed. I got from an internship where I competed with students of IITs, NITs, and done really well. I cleared a certification exam, which I was amongst the first 50 Indians to do so. And right from there, my journey of entrepreneurship actually started, where I made one core objective of my life, one core thing which I want to accomplish in my life is I want to give each and every student the kind of environment which I got, the kind of culture, the kind of education, the kind of a platform to each and every engineering student so that they can innovate, they can compete, they can grow in their careers. I started with when I came in job, I saw this gap is huge. What corporate requires and what is there in the college. And a lot of some of the people who actually are able to bridge it, but most of them really lack with that and end up compromising working on average paid jobs. Even my batchmates, a lot of batchmates who were doing good in the college days ended up doing a lot of average jobs. So when I saw this gap in my job and I excelled, I, after 2 years I left my job and started with a non-profit called Internity Foundation, where we started providing remote internships to the students, started conducting hackathons where students solved some of the pressing issues, got appreciations even from the Prime Minister of India, various ministries who recognized their efforts. So after doing all this, we ended up starting a startup called Where You Elevate, which again is taking this vision forward and establishing itself as an entity which is enabling the organizations to drive their innovation, to build prototypes, to build products by using the right talent. We all are seeing the startups are growing, the technology, the need of technology is growing. Every other day, a new startup comes. Every other day, students are doing a lot of things in college days or even after coming in industry. What exactly is the importance of building those products? What exactly is the importance of innovation? What exactly is the importance of prototype? Or how to convert a prototype into a successful startup or a startup? How to make a business around it? All these are questions which require to be answered. All these are this entire process is should be executed very well, and it has to be understood when you are starting. Because I've seen there people have built products and they failed. I've seen a lot of them. I've seen some of the quality products getting failed. There is no right strategy, but there is a strategy which works. And I am going to share from that strategy, and that is from my experience, which I'm going to share with you. When I worked on as a technology head in my previous startup, there are a lot of clients which we had. There are a lot of products which we built. There are a lot of things which we delivered. Our customers were from US, Europe primarily, and we actually built some of the most innovative products for them. There, I had one mentor in my life who was a director of engineering in my previous company where I worked. He's from IIT, and I always acknowledge him for that. He gave me one lesson, and which I'll share with you is software development or a product development is nothing but if you understand the process well, if you define the process well, a process, a process or to do something like for a payment, there is a process which Paytm observed and Paytm developed a wallet around it. Then UPI got introduced, and then that process is being used everywhere to pay. And Paytm built a business around it. For food delivery, there is a process which is defined, and for delivering that, use of right technology is done, adding maps, adding mobile apps to the drivers so that they can identify the location. But there is a well-defined process to deliver food or to deliver grocery or to book tickets or to book movie tickets or to do anything which online apps are providing, online products are providing. There's a well-defined process. Every business has a process. We are into hiring business or a hackathon business. There is a process to do that. If you don't understand the process, you are failed. Even at times startups innovate something in the existing process, or they create a new process to deliver. A startup is something which creates a new process or bring innovation in an existing process to do things. Process is a well-defined method to do things uh, successfully. Now, I'll share from my experience where how I started understanding this is I built primarily I worked apart from the for the customers primarily I have been part of three more startups. One of the startup which was my most initial one of my cousin, I built the entire product, the entire back end of that product. I myself did coding for that. The product is still live, but what was missing in that, though it didn't get traction, was the business which got created out around it, like converting a process to startup. They that guy understands the process well, but they fail to understand how to convert it into a well-defined business model around it, or converting it to a startup. If you see the app, it is very good. It is very well architected. It is very well designed, but it is not getting that traction. Another product, well, there I mentored actually the team. Uh, they built a beautiful app for water delivery. They built it very beautifully. They executed it, but again, converting process into a startup, prototype to a well-defined product to a startup to a business around it, and it's an ongoing innovation which is required. आप एक बार बना दोगे उसके बाद उसको फिर से इनोवेट करना. You create it, you create a prototype, you go in market, oh, market requires another thing, another business, this is working, so I need to add subscription. You come back, improve your product, add that feature, go again in the market. Platform or a product is something like a shop. I give this example every time. It's like a shop. If you go in a shopping mall, there is a shop which is there. Every time you have to modify the interiors, you have to showcase a lot of products. People keep on doing this. A technology platform is like that only. It's a marketplace or a platform where your users or potential customers come. It's a media of how to you deliver those services. It's not exactly the business, it's a media. It's a medium on which you do business. You have to do the business, real business. You have to understand the business. You have to understand the business part. And then create a prototype accordingly. And then bring innovation in that. Then bring innovative features in that. Use the right technology. Use the modern technology. All these technologies look attractive, but if you keep on doing that and not understanding business, you will fail. If you understand business and you don't use the right technology, you will fail again. That is why I'm saying both the things are important. And that is why this session has this topic: innovation, prototype validation, and converting prototype to a startup. Now I'll give example of where you elevate my current startup. What we are doing is we are building a platform where we are connecting the users who are students, college students, engineering students, or working professionals to actually practice cutting edge technologies on our platform. We are providing a practice platform to them. They sign up, they can practice, they can participate in SCOT programs, which we'll be doing. It's kind of a remote internship methodology where you'll be given weekly challenges and you have to solve them to cross to the next level so that you master in a particular skill. A lot of edtech platforms just give you courses, but no one practices. Come practice on our platform. This is what we are providing. And then once you are doing that, you are equipped to solve problems. You've got the mindset to solve problems. You've got the mindset of how to actually express your understanding. Then you can actually participate in the hackathons, get the best job for yourself, get work in some of the most competitive environments. Go get it. This is what simply we are doing, connecting the right talent with the right organization. We have, and how we are doing it, it's a process which we understood. We are not recruitment masters. Nobody in our team is from HR background. So what we did is we learned from our experience. Nobody in our team is from the teaching background. What we did is we learned from our experience of industry and we started providing it. We kept on reading, learning, practicing. This is called experiential learning. And then we identified the right mentors for ourselves. And then we first created business around it. We onboarded some customers. We solved their problem. We provided talent to them by sourcing manually on using LinkedIn and other hiring platforms. Now, once we understood it, in parallel, what we did is, this is something which is unique about us. We added it on platform. We added it to in our operations manpower team, which is actually working with the candidates and with the companies. This is called innovation. We improve the process. We reduce the time. We say that your application don't go in a dormant state is what we assure you. Something which has brought transparency. This is a new process which we have defined, and now our thought process is automatically wired around it, and we are building those kind of features on our platform. Once those features come on our platform, a prototype is developed. We've developed a basic hiring prototype. We went into the market, we gave it to the users, we asked our customers to start using it. We got feedback, and then we redefined the process. We brought innovation again into our platform, and then that's how our complete platform or product is going out. Now, similarly, we did hackathons manually to understand how a hackathon is done. Now we have a well-defined process. We know what the business is around it, how we'll be going to do business. We have all the information. We went there, we asked our tech team to define this is the business objective we need to meet. They built up basic prototype of how to host hackathons on the platform. We started selling it to the customers. Hey, host the hackathon on our platform. We got the customer, we got the business, we got the prototype validation done, and once done successfully, we convert it into a well-defined product and a startup. A simple strategy which we are adopting. We have not built a complete product. We are taking our time. We are building it bits and pieces. A lot of people built it complete. That's not wrong, but what we are doing is we are identifying customers, we are identifying the business, we are identifying the business process, we are automating it, and we are bringing innovation in that. That's how our basic product is getting created. That way, we are easily bootstrapping our business. We are easily getting enough traction. We are getting revenues. We are getting users. Slowly and slowly, we are building this organization. Once we have enough numbers, we'll raise funds and we'll scale ourselves. This is what we are adopting. So innovation, importance of innovation. Innovation is required everywhere. It can be the process, it can be the technology. Understanding what problem you are solving and how you are solving can be, and how innovative you are approaching towards that in your solution. How faster you are doing, how much time, effort, money you are saving your solution. That is where the innovation is required. That is where out of box thinking is required. Now to validate that thought, to create a basic prototype. You give it to your potential customers or users. You get the feedback. You have a well-defined process created. Now, with that feedback, now you can convert it into a full-fledged product. And you can, based upon the feedback, you can create a business model around it. That's how your product to a startup journey can be created. And this is how we have been doing it in our platform. And this is what the startups who actually fail to understand at times. I can give enough examples for the successful startups like Paytm or Zomato or Swiggy or any successful startup, how they started. You can read about it. They built a basic core feature around it. And then they went into the market. They saw something, saw some gap. They incorporated it in their platform. Now, once the platform is ready, they took another level that how can my platform handle such a huge load? Then they again reworked their architecture, brought innovation, handle how can my platform handle millions of transactions at a time, done innovation, went to the market, converted into a full-fledged feature or a business around it. That's how they expanded. Otherwise, Paytm started with a simple payment related thing and they built a whole sort of thing around it. And they now have entered into lending business, payments banking, so many things. It's what they have introduced on around one simple concept. That is how business, different products are created. That's what I can share on this. I can keep on saying. If any questions are there, you can let me know if any questions are there in the chat box uh, in the session chat box. But this is how what I feel. This is what from my experience I can share. The importance of innovation or ongoing innovation or prototype validation or converting a prototype to a startup and creating a business around. Ultimately, what matters is how much big business you are doing, and technology is something which is enabling it. That's it from my side on this topic. If any questions, Anushka, from anyone.
Yes, sir. I have received one question from the students, and
Yes,
they want to know that when you entered the startup area, the
yes.
scene when you started with your own startup, what was the prime problem that you faced, the first problem that you faced, and how did you overcome it?
Okay. So when I entered into the startup or entrepreneurship, see, people welcome you very well. The first problem which comes is how will you create the work for people? You have passion, you have energy, you have idea. How will you break it into bits and pieces? You have to build a team. You have to bring people. Now, if you have built a team, you have to assign work to them, and you have to make sure that they understand. Because if they'll do work and you go out, people will take you seriously only when you will showcase your work. And this is the first challenge which I faced. I had built a team, but I didn't have enough work for them. I didn't have enough opportunities for them, and then the team lost their interest at times. But how I overcome that is by bringing new things, by creating new opportunities, by thinking through. Let's say my team was facing things. How will we go into the market? ठीक है, हम लोगों को काम मिले. ठीक है, we got work, but how will we go into the market? We announced a program, got an idea, we announced a program. When we did that program, what's next? Another program. Sometimes you get success, sometimes you get fail. And then I invited team to add their ideas. When they fail, they brought the idea of hackathon, one of my partners. When we did that hackathon, we saw that a business can be created around. And then we jumped into the business. This is how you overcome. I hope I have answered.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So, one more thing, which is a request on my personal part as well as my colleagues. They want you to share one advice from your experiences which will highly benefit us.
One advice. See, I'll give one thing. Nothing is difficult or nothing is easy. People say this. When you come, you have to be patient enough. When you come, actually jump, you have to be patient enough. You have to think through and build your life. Do it for yourself. Do it for how you for why you came on this planet. Find a purpose for it. Everyone has a purpose to come on this planet. Every human being. Find a purpose and do it. Just do it. Simple. This is my advice.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much for clearing the doubts and sharing your experience, sir. I am
Thank
filled with
you.
gratitude and respect both for you today. And thank you not only for sparing your invaluable time, also for sharing your own experiences and guiding us along this path. I'm running short of words for gratitude today. I would like to share a memento for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for gracing us with your presence today.
Thank you.
And we
Thank
would
you.
love to connect with you again.
I can keep on sharing. That's what I am passionate about, and I can keep on doing this one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
That
you.
brings us to the end of today's session. I would like to request everyone to kindly leave the meeting.